Sorry, guys. I thought you were hearing me all this time. Okay, so I'm saying question. We are on section 4. Can you hear me now? Can you guys hear me now? Okay. Okay, I see, yes. All right, thank you. So I'm saying section 4, the answer is this question is similar to that 8 question 1. That 8 question 1. Exactly, this question is the same. The only difference is just figures. So you just follow what they did in question that, get that memo, that 8 memo question 1. Okay, so everything they're asking you here, assuming you are a director, state the now and alternative hypothesis. Okay, so in this situation, then our now will be mean equal to 3.10. Our alternative hypothesis, what are they asking? They say that after an initiative to help GPA students, the athletic director had a random sample of 20 players, and he found out that the average GPA of the sample is 3 point, with a sample standard deviation of this. So basically what they want to know is they just want, they tell you here that we know that from the previous study that the average GPA is, so they are telling you that from previous study they found that the GPA is 310. Now after doing the random sample, they found out that it's no longer 310, it's 3.8. It's 3.8. So what are they trying to prove? So our now hypothesis would, they want to prove if this 3.10 is wrong or is right. Okay, so it's actually mean equal to 310. Alternative would be mean equal to is not equal to this. Okay, so basically it's gonna look like this. I think I did it already, so I'm just gonna show you the answers, and then you find your critical value and test statistics, and then you interpret the results. So I think I did it, so I'm just gonna show you. So let's see what this question says. High school athletics. Okay. Well, let me share the high school athletics. Okay, so that question, yeah, high school athletics. Okay, so basically this is the question here. Your null hypothesis is this one. Okay, and your alternative hypothesis is this one. All right, then they ask you to find the critical values. The critical value they give you, did they give you alpha? Let's see. They didn't give you alpha. No, they didn't. So when they don't give you alpha, you always assume alpha is 0.5. Okay, take note of that. If they don't give you alpha, you assume alpha is 0.5 or 95%. Okay, so this is the alpha level was not given, but if it's not given, it means it's a 0.05. And you use the distribution. Why? Because your mean, your n is less than 20. Remember, they give you 20 footballers here. So all you need just, so this the t distribution to find the t statistics. So this will be your t statistics. All right. And then remember your alpha. Remember your alpha must be your degrees of freedom will be 20 minus 1. Okay, let me take the other one. Yes, your degree of freedom here will be n minus 1, which is 19. Okay, your level of significance is 0.5. You check from your table, you find your critical value. So this is your critical value. They ask you, they find your critical value. This is the critical value. And this is your T statistics. And then you look at the question, you can see that because the values at the end, you make a conclusion at the end. If p value is greater than the alpha, you can use the alpha one or you can use the T statistics. So to make a conclusion, remember what you are taught in class, you can either use the p value or you can use the T statistics. Here you can see that our T statistics is less than 2.09. Therefore, we do not reject the null hypothesis. Okay, or you can use the p value. The p value, if your p value is greater than alpha, then we do not reject. Okay, so your conclusion, you must say that they say interpret your results there in the question. In the question, let's see. The question is saying interpret your results. So you say we do not reject null hypothesis. Therefore, there is not enough evidence to conclude that our average GPA for the student athlete is 3.10. So there's not enough evidence to conclude that the alpha is 3.10, right? Because you did not reject the null hypothesis. All right. As it is here, you do not reject, you do not, so there's not enough evidence to claim that the population mean is different from 3.10. So it's not 3.18. There's not enough evidence to conclude that. All right. We do not reject the null hypothesis. Therefore, the average mean will be the same. So that's what they're asking you for the question section 4. Okay, so let's go to, but is basically this question is similar to that one question, that 8 question 1. So just go to that 8 question 1, you'll find the answer. You just punch in the question, you'll find the exactly what I've shown you there, the answers. Okay, let's go to question, last question. So the last section, so there's nothing else that can trick you here, nothing to trick you. Your null hypothesis, your alternative, you find your critical values. And but remember to always put 2 decimal places, all right? This is important. And you interpret your results. And then section 5 is they're asking for proportion, I think, yes. A law enforcement agent believes that at least 88% of the drivers stopped on Saturday night for speeding are under the influence of the alcohol. A sample of 66 drivers who were stopped for speeding on Saturday night was taken. So a sample, you see, that's your N. Your N is 66. They give you proportion of the people, at least 88, and the 80% of the drivers in the sample are under influence of alcohol. Okay, so what kind of is it mean or proper? Anyone wanna try? Is it, so they're asking hypothesis testing of what? Is it a proportion or mean? Anyone who want to try? Hmm? So section 5 is similar to that 8 question 2. Okay. Similar to that 8 question 2. We can basically go to that 8 now. So let's go to that 8. I don't know why that 8 is not showing on my paper. Okay, it's a proportion. So it's not showing, so I'm just gonna, so just check that. So section 5 is similar to that 8. Oh, here it is. Okay. Yes, that's 8 question 2. Yes, question 2 here. So that question is similar to this. The only difference is that this proportion is 80%. Is this, we are given this, but now they already give you 80%. So the only difference is here you put your 80%. You say minus 0.88. Your 88% is your P bar, okay? So your 80% is what is 145/54. That's the only difference in that question. All right. So just go to that 8 question 2 is similar to the question to section 5. Okay. You see this question here is similar to that 8 question 2. The only difference is that where there is 145 over 540 is 80%. They already found it for you. Okay, so find your answer. So when you use that to find your answer, here is what your answer will look like. Let me share. So the last one is about what things. It's about a law enforcement agent. Yeah. So your answer, yes, it's the same. There's nothing I can show you. It's just use what I've told you. That 8 question 2. Yes. So here is gonna be our null hypothesis. So they ask you for what? Let's see. They ask you state the null and alternative for it. Our null hypothesis is P is equal to 0.88. Okay, that's our null hypothesis. Our alternative hypothesis will be P is less than 0.88 because they ask you at least 1. It's the same as 1 or less. In cases at least 88. So it's 88 or less. Okay. And then calculate the critical value, and the statistics is what I was explaining, that all you need to do is just, you have your 88 there, you use your formula here. Your critical values here will be, but remember here they use 0.01. Okay. but you use 5% because they didn't give you the level of confidence. So if they don't give you the level of confidence, you use 0.05. So don't use 0.01. But in case you use 0.1, state it that you use 0. Because the lecture will assume that you've used 0.05. So if there is no, but I would say please use 0.05 level because they didn't give you. So if they don't give you, you assume it's 0.05. So the answer here will be different. Okay, so you check on your Z score for 0.05. Okay. And then you only reject if whatever you found there is less than -2.325. Remember, it must be negative. Why? Because P will be less than 0.88. All right. So if you find anything here, if you find positive, it must be negative here for you to reject null hypothesis. Because you are dealing with a one-tailed test. Okay. And then on here, all you need is just to punch in the value. So P bar will be 80%. They give you already here. Remember, they give you 80%. That's your P bar. And the other one is 0.88. And you just punch in there. So don't be confused with this. This one is what they already give you 80%. Okay, and then your conclusion will be the same. Just follow what's happening, apply what you found, and but it's the same style. Okay. Okay, any question? Let's see what else is asked. Yeah, just interpret your results. That's it. Okay. Any question? Any question, guys? Yeah, but so let me share this also again for the last time. Yeah, so this is important, guys. For section 1, you can use the cell, as I said, you can use the Excel, and then you just use your normal calculation, but you know already the figures for the question 1. All right. And then the interpretation of confidence interval, if it increases or decreases, this is the answer. You can apply the one that they ask you for decreasing. If it decreases the same, you just change the. And section 2 is similar to that 7 question 1. Section 3 is similar to that 7 question 3. Section 4 is similar to that 8 question 1. Section 5 is similar to that 8 question 2. Okay. So I think if you apply this and look at that, you'll be able to understand. And yeah, that's it. Let me share also the answers for the ones that I did. Yeah, that was for the first one. I think I've shown that already. And the other one. Yeah, this one for the first one. Yeah, but I've already shown. I think you guys gonna see, you will see the video. All right. Okay, guys, if there is no question, and then thank you for attending, and please watch the video when I upload it. If you have question with the assignment, please be serious, guys. I was marking the assignment. Some of you are not serious. You just leave the question without even take responsibility for your mark, even though it's a group assignment, but make sure that even though it's a group assignment, make sure that you work hard for it because it's your mark. By the end of the day, that mark you're getting on your group is your mark and it's your part of your exam. So try so hard, guys, to like make sure if your friend has done it, to check even your friend's work if it's correct or not, if you have time. You understand? You can't let your friend just leave a blank answer and not answering it. You understand? Some of the homework that I was getting, some of the students didn't even answer, just leave the question like that. Like at least try to attempt it. Even if you are busy. I always advise students, make plan. If you don't make plan for you, how you gonna study, you end up failing. So make plans, okay? To say, okay, this subject is difficult. I'll spend 1 hour every day on this one. I know you have so many subjects, but you make a plan. If I tell you my thing, if I don't make plans for my studies, I end up failing. But if I make a plan, let's say I have a proposal, an assignment, it's always hectic. So what I do is every morning, 1 hour I spend on that assignment until on the day I submit. It makes the work easy for you. And also my advice for the test, please, if you have a test, there's no way you can now start reading the book from chapter 1 to chapter 15, whatever, and reading the whole book. You won't finish. You won't finish. So you must work smart. It's not about working hard, it's working smart, okay? Like for statistics, all I used to do is to go practice. So I go every question, I go to the question and the answers. I practice. I go to all the tasks. I practice all the tasks. That's it. If you do that, you will be able, even if you have a past paper or previous paper, you take the previous paper, you practice it. You end up passing the exams. Rather than you can't now start, okay, I must start from chapter 1, start from the beginning. No, you won't have time for everything because all those chapters, you have been taught that chapter for the whole semester. Now you think you can finish reading it within 2 weeks. You can't. So all you need to do is just study smart, practice questions. If like even for other modules, if there are tests or there are questions under each question, I would rather ask you to practice those questions first before you do even. If you don't understand, that's where you go to the notes and check. You understand? Or you can ask me, but you don't start everything from the beginning. You won't have time. So that's the secret to passing well. And so maybe some of you continue with your master's or PhD. The secret is just to study wisely, not to study hard. All right. Okay, I wish you all the best. Thank you. Oh, is someone saying I must show us section 5? Can you show us section 5? Section 5 or section? I don't understand what you mean. I must show you section 5. Section 5, the question. Okay, section 5 is just go to that 8 question 2. This is exactly the same. The only difference, you are using alpha 0.05, and I explained that 80% is already given, so you don't have to find any proportion. Please try to do it on your own. You use that 8 question 2. It's exactly the same. If you don't understand, you can ask me. I think I did explain section 5. I don't understand. I did explain. I said section 5 is similar to question, that 8 question 2. I said it's similar to that 8 question 2. Okay, similar to this one. So here your null hypothesis P is equal to 0.088. H1 is gonna be P less than 0.88. Okay. And then your critical value here will change because you use 0.05. They didn't give you 0 alpha, so you assume it's 0.05, so it's gonna change. So you check on your table, you find the answer. It's not gonna be this one, it will be the one for 0.05. After finding that, remember, you will only reject if this one, whatever you found there, is less than negative whatever value you're gonna find. After that, you find your test statistics. Your test statistics is basically just the value, your P bar here. It's gonna be your 80%. 80% that is given here. You see, they gave you 80%. That will be your 80%. That will be here. Here. Okay. It will be 80%. So it will be 0.8 minus 0.88. Okay. Over 0.88 times 1 minus 0.88 over your n. Your n here, they give you 66, I think. Yes, they give you 66. So your n there will be 66 down there. All right. Then you make your conclusion. That's it. You make your conclusion whether you reject it or you, depends on what you found there. Okay. Okay, guys, I think I've taken so long time. I wish you all the best. Please consult with me if you have problems. And make sure to be serious. Be serious with your studies, guys. It's good for you if you're gonna do masters. Even if you don't do masters, if you go to companies, some of them they'll need good grades. Understand? Also, you can't let your fees for your parents just waste it. If you waste your fees, you are also wasting time. Time moves fast. So don't waste your time. Try your best and work hard. Okay, you can be tutors for next year. If you pass well, you never know. All right. So please work hard. Okay, all the best. Bye.